Welcome to 100 Gems Podcast, home of the champs, baby. And today we going to continue to kick off Why Did I Get Married? Just it's been some questions that came up and some different topics. One of them, we was talking 50-50. I wonder how do folks in those relationships, when you get married, is it 50-50? Or is it, put together in one? Before I go on, my take is it's 100. When I got into a relationship, it was, it's 100. And I ran the 100. You did. Now, the thing is, what you was doing, you don't have to stop doing what you're doing. Now, that's just me, though, and I've been fortunate enough to find that in my life, and it has worked out because I wasn't on the take. It wasn't like I was trying to, just run off and trick the change off. So, but these women, on the other hand, I'm talking about they're doing different things, like Tasha, who I'm going to pass it off to. Say, Tasha, tell us about 50-50.
Man, I don't know if I don't know. I guess in my marriage it's different. I'm, and this is no secret. I ain't, trying to, like down or shame my husband. I generally, bring in more
For
revenue,
sure.
And but at the end of the day, he's so supportive. He's like has my back with like everything that I do. So I said, okay, this is what we gonna do. We got a couple businesses, and I'm like, okay, you run this, I run this, we got this. So it's like we got a bill account, and he got an account, and I got an account. And then he said, well, I don't really feel right with you paying the rent. I'll do that, and then you just do the other stuff.
Yeah,
so it's kind of weird. We kind of different.
No, because I've been in something similar. You know what I mean? Where you take on these right here, and then I'll make sure this okay over here. You know what I mean? And you have to work together, though. I think you got to grow into it, and that was one of the fortunate things because out the gate it was this how we gonna do it. But I learned that you have to, especially when you got somebody in your life that's producing. You know what I mean? That's a different story, though. If you come in and you the producer, you the producer.
That part.
Yeah. And a fella would be able to recognize that, though.
Right.
If they trying to play you, but if they really dig you, they'll be able to work with you on that, and then some just ain't that smart, though,
Because know what they got.
Hey, listen, I'm talking about, man, that was one of the first things I wanted to find out about how our finances look.
Right, yeah.
That's because, and I say that because I wanted to know how much work I had to do. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was a turn off or anything like that. It was just, I need to know what kind of work I need to do with you in my life. You know what I mean?
That's one of the 3 reasons. When you research the top 3 reasons why marriages fail, it's finances, infidelity, and them punk ass kids. Like for real. Like man,
wait a minute.
Man, them blended families, them older ones, them ones that
Is you talking about the baby daddies and the baby mamas?
Them kids.
Or the kids?
Them kids.
The babies.
Yes. Kids.
It is some rough kids.
Man, no.
It is some rough. That's true, but I gotta say, that man, dealing with the females that I have coming up, with kids, they wouldn't stay with their daddy. I'm just keeping that 100, and I supported it. It wasn't like they was going to stay with daddy broke,
right?
Without that, and I made sure that this is the reason why, Rhodey or whoever it was need to be over here with you, man. You know, and fortunately, I had they were in their life already. You know what I mean? That's big. You know, when they in their life, you know, I just helped them out be in their life a little bit more. You know, you know what I'm saying? But coming back to you, Tosh, bad kids. You know, is what do you define as a bad kid? I need to know.
It's not necessarily. I won't say bad, but it's the ones that, you know. I mean, you got somebody new. See, I tell people it's a difference. Like my girls know better. My kids' daddy, I wish you would. So, you know, we not gonna have them type of issues over here. We ain't gonna have no baby daddies pulling up talk. My 14-year-old daughter, his dad tried to and got checked because, like I explained to him, 1, we have no dealings. 2, this is the man who is in this house.
Right.
3, if you won't pull up over here for anything and you can't acknowledge and speak to him, then you need to figure out where you gonna pick your kid up from.
I seen the baby daddy get sprayed. On everything with the pepper spray that he pulled up and was and went out right out there and sprayed him. It wasn't no talking.
No, I ain't gonna spray him. But I'm just glad that, you know, I demand my respect. And if I ain't violating what you got going on, you can't violate what I got going on. And we're gonna have an understanding. So it was different because my husband's so laid back and chill. My kids was like, yeah, he cool, you know, but I wasn't so popular with his kids at first. So, you know, but things are ironing out now.
Yeah.
Because
it take time.
Yeah, it do. And it was the boys, hands down. His daughter, because you know, she's accustomed to having, that's my daddy, I'm his only daughter. And then it had to be an understanding of, honey, we in 2 different lanes. I can never swerve in your lane. He'll never love me like he love you. Right. He'll never love you like he love me. You his daughter, I'm his wife. Right. You know, so when we got to that understanding that it's more of a welcoming, you know, versus, you know, it ain't no divide and conquer. Like we all, it's you know, so now things, but, you know, I had a different mindset. I'm like, man, I'm out of here. I ain't dealing with that. But yeah.
I went through that too, Tasha, because my daughter is 37, and I got a 26-year-old wife. You know, she came in, she's like, hold up, you know, what's going on,
right.
and this, that, and the other. And but I made sure she understood what was going on, right. You know. You sit your butt down somewhere, girl, right. You know, you got a life.
Yeah.
At the same time, it still was some communication that needed to be had, you know, some boundaries that
need to be
you know,
set,
and then because I never, you know, you wasn't doing this before, you ain't finna do it now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But that's a real thing right there. You know, and you have to deal with it.
Right, you have, because my take used to be like, man, I was like, man, I listen. If I cut mine off, cut somebody else's off. If you move wrong, now don't get me wrong, my girls are my world, but if you move wrong and you do too much, I will cut you off if you're disrespectful.
Yeah.
But so I had to be mindful of and not put him in a situation where it's like, dang, where he felt like he had to choose. It was like, you need to go have a conversation and explain this is what it is, you know. But in her defense, she just, it was all, you know, it was him and her. I'm a daddy's girl, so I get it, you know. So I get it, but I just knew my daddy didn't play that where, you know, we cannot. I hated my daddy wife.
You couldn't get in, you couldn't get in this business.
Yeah, I hated her. But
just stay out my business.
I shut my mouth up, and I talk about her to my brothers and my sisters. Like, I couldn't stand her. And it wasn't until I was about 38 that me and her was able to have a face-to-face. And let me tell you why I don't like you type of situation.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because, and it was still respectful, but but with her, my daddy, it was 29 of us.
Right.
You know, so you tripping about a man that for every kid he got with you, he got one outside of you, and you got a problem with me, his oldest child. You got a problem, like we would come down, I'd come to Memphis, and she'd get all her kids and leave. You know, because all of us will come over there because my daddy is real family oriented. Right. And I just thought that was super foul. And so now your kids, you know, a couple of them cool, but they act weird with us because she made them and had them in his mindset, well, y'all got the same mom and daddy as y'all. But I'm like, That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And you chose to stay.
And that gives we have a responsibility.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
stayed.
I know today. You know, I can talk a little bit today because I done grew up some. You know, and I done matured, and you know, and I see where I'm going. You know what I mean? And I know I have a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's 37 years old, but that's still my baby.
Yeah.
My
Yep.
it was my first baby.
Yep. Only
You
daughter,
know
right?
what I mean? I'm talking about, yeah.
Prior to your baby.
For a long
Yep.
time, a very long time, you know. And when this new deal came up, and then the new deal really was a new deal for me. It was a family.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to learn how to be a family man, and then to deal with a baby daddy or what have you. But I'm pretty good with dealing with fellas anyway. You know, staying out of my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That part was actually easy.
Mm-hmm.
The other part, though, the learning was dealing with the rest of the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to when you decide to be a family man and you in a marriage.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had some great experiences that I get to carry with me, you know, and it strengthened me. They let me know I'm really a good dude.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, because I didn't know I had that in me until it was presented, you know.
Yeah.
We had a young lady over here
All
though,
right. Yeah.
and I really wanted his because she said she had twins. You know what I mean? And then she was jacking earlier about something too, you know, telling somebody that they need to do something. And I just would like to hear your name, sweetie.
Oh, my name is Asia. And so far, I mean, I heard the conversation that you all were having, and it's a really good conversation. And so I just want to interject and say this, is that, so two things I want to comment on. It's the 50-50, and then also, Tasha, you brought up the blended families. So I'll start with the blended families, is that I feel as though it's the communication barrier is broken. Mm-hmm. And when you blend families together, a conversation needs to be held with everyone. Yeah. So everybody can be on the same page. People assume that people know the ranks and how to act, and people understand their position, and they don't. Right. Like Tasha was saying, you his daughter, I'm his wife. You can't love him like I can, and you can't do things with him that I do. If you do, that's incest.
That part.
You get what I'm saying? So to say is that this is one man, and the love that he has to be shared and spread out between not just you, so many other people. Yes. So if we host a conversation to say that was your spot, a key word was as in past tense. It's not no more. It's not no more. So I'm not pushing you out. It's just a conversation now needs to be held, whether that's a teen or in elementary school or middle school or as an adult. Your spot, I'm now in front of you now. Yeah. And you need to understand why I'm in front of you now, right? Yeah. To say that's why when we come together and be married, we are as one. Kids, y'all are meant to grow up and get out and live y'all own life.
Say that again, sister.
I mean, it's the truth. Y'all, they're meant to grow up, live their own lives, and leave the house.
Yes.
So if I let you be in my spot, now when you start feeling yourself and you get your man, now you gonna want to leave, and you've been in my spot this whole time because the natural order of things have been out of order.
And you better not go over to their spot either.
That's what I'm saying. And so that's what I'm bringing up is say, when we are blending families, it's like we have to have a conversation with both sides, like sit down. And it seems so far-fetched because communication within, I can only speak for Black people because I'm Black. Yeah. Within the Black family, the Black culture and the Black family dynamics is we're very prone on, this is my relationship. Like we're very territorial. It's my job, my money. You ain't got to know what I make. And it's just like, relax, right? Yeah. This is a family dynamics. If we are all to move together as a unit, as one, we all have to be on the same accord, and you can't assume that's your position. I have to tell you that's your position. But that can only come once we have a conversation because we're blending together. Yes. This is now, that's not your biological brother or sister, but because we're blending, you now need to understand you need to look out for him or her as if that was your biological, because now I'm going to do the same for these kids that I did not birth out, but because me and their father have decided we want to be in love and be together, everybody got to be on the same accord, because it ain't going to be no beef in the family. It ain't going to be no backbiting. It's not going to be any of these things. Why? Because the conversation was held and everybody now knows their position. And not just with the kids, with the higher ups in the family as well. Because if I'm blended with him, I need his mama to understand that as well. So now,
what if he a mama boy?
Conversation. It's all about communication. A conversation needs to be held, right? With him to say, we're blending families. So I need everybody to be on the same
accord. It's hard to deal with a mama's boy.
No, it's hard to deal with family that's not your own. It's hard to deal with my own family.
Yeah.
Now I'm blending families. So now when I come around, I don't want no beef with your family. I want it to be all love. Even if it's not all love, it needs to at least be respect.
Right.
To say, that's your mom, I would never disrespect her. That's your father, your aunties, or whomever, because you gotta understand, it was just you and them before I came. But people forget that.
I gotta say,
go ahead.
I just want to say this, because I agree with everything you're saying, though. I agree. The difference with us, though, those conversations don't happen until we cussing each other out.
Exactly.
We really telling, the mama or somebody, hey, I ain't with that.
Right.
And I remember it was a time where I had to just, okay. And I had a little hen that day too. Everybody understood what was going on.
Right. Yeah.
But those conversations has to happen. You know what I mean? That's inside the family, and especially with folks outside.
Exactly.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you on everything I love. Don't come over my house.
Yeah.
And you better call me
exactly.
if you're thinking about coming over my house.
Right.
And that's no disrespect to you, to your mama, to my kids. I don't want nobody coming over my house if they ain't called and they ain't invited.
Right, but again, it all boils down to communication. Like you said, it doesn't happen until something happens.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, you better get your mama, or you better get her, make her understand it's my spot. Well, why didn't we make her understand this prior to when we got together? You get what I'm saying? To say, if you can't respect me, mom-in-law, there needs to be a mutual respect between us to say, this is one son, and we have to, his love is different from you, me, and whatnot, from his daughter to me to you. His love for all of us are different. Yeah. We all have different positions in his life, and we all support him in different ways, right?
The elder's supposed to have those, have some of that information, have some of that knowledge. One of the things that helped me out to be able to deal with some of that new stuff, because I was thinking about sticking around. So I had to go get some guidance on how to stick around and should I stick around, and I went to my granddaddy. You know what I mean? And he told me, I remember, he told me, he said, well, you go to the mama. But I knew the mama wasn't there. You know what I mean? As far as being able to communicate, what have you. So I went to the grandmama. I'm an older cat. You know what I mean? I got this young girl. I'm finna go meet these people.
Right.
So they'll know who I am.
Exactly.
And this was happening. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm putting my best foot forward, and it worked out because it was done. Rob? My granddaddy.
Because you know what? When I told my dad when I got engaged, my dad was like, you ain't engaged? He got to come holler at me.
Yeah.
You ain't going to treat me like you ain't had a daddy your whole life.
Yeah.
He like, so ain't nothing shaking until he get on the plane and come down here and meet me and meet your brothers and know that you got a daddy. Yeah. I was like, so yeah, you gotta meet my daddy real quick. So when you say that, that's how the old Southern value was.
I ain't gonna lie, because I wasn't into meeting no daddies, mamas, or none of that. I had stuff to do. Baby, we finna go. We catch them on the fly or something. But,
my daddy was going.
When I had made that decision,
right.
I knew, I said, okay, let's do this right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I literally, I really had to find out.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't my thing. So when I went to Granddad though, and of course he gave me his whole, skillio, and they loved each other. My granddaddy and grandmama loved each other all their life. I'm talking about 60. They got 60s, almost 70 years in the game at that time. So Polo. Matter of fact, Polo. We was just talking about some 50-50 things, and it went off because it was real good. I just want to hear your take, man, on what you think about.
Now, when you say 50-50, what you mean?
50-50, when you get in a relationship, do you believe that everything's supposed to be 50-50? You take care of this half, and then I take care of that? Or do you believe everything go in the pot, man, we going to do this?
Well, I got a different interpretation of 50-50. And when I bring it to the table 50-50, I do believe in 50-50. And my 50-50 is you bring 100% of your resources and take 50% of that, bring it to the table. I bring 100% of my energy and resources, and I bring 50% of that to the table. So your 50% and my 50% equal our lifestyle. So that way, you got 50% for your personal life and 50% invested in the relationship. So that's the 50-50 that I talk about versus saying if the bill is $650, you do $325, I do $3. No. I'm saying you have to have just as much energy and enthusiasm in this relationship as I am. Because what happens nowadays, somebody come with more than the other. And that gives either one person out or one person the bag to hold. And then it get exhausted. So, whether you the breadwinner and you got to pay all the bills, but you looking at a relaxed person who chilling, whether it be the woman or the man. So if you ain't coming with the same energy and the same enthusiasm, we not equally yoked. We really can't even look at each other as equals until you invested just as much energy. And I ain't gonna say equity, but 50-50 is definitely what you supposed to come to the table with, because you supposed to at least come with half of what we looking for in the goal. If you looking at a goal of $20,000, I'm not, and I'll use that as monetary value. You use your resources to come up with 10. I use my resources to come up with 10. We meet in the middle as a team, and we go to that first. So that's my 50-50, and I believe that works. Because if you don't use your resources to, wherever you at, if you don't reach use your resources to get where we going, I feel like I'm carrying all the load.
I ain't gonna, with how I see it, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want no 50% of no woman.
No. You get 100% of her.
I'm talking about
venture.
But I'm talking about, I don't care. I'm talking about I want 100%.
And that's what I'm saying.
Because she gonna get 100% from me. It's not like I'm finna bring, hey baby, I'm finna give you 50%.
No, you said,
but wait a minute. See, 50%, might be, here go 50%. You ain't gonna see me for 2-3 months.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta come 100% of you.
I'm talking about. I want 100%. I want 100% of everything.
How much?
All of it.
So how much do she get to keep of her?
Huh? All of it.
I'm saying how much do
every bit of it.
No, I'm saying her personal life, because in a relationship it's 3 people.
Oh yeah, she gotta have. Ain't none of that gonna stop.
Because you can't take the person that was before the relationship and make them commit 100%.
No. I don't think I would be able to get the 100% if that was tainted. If that was messing with.
Yeah, I would say you take 100%. Somebody gonna feel like they've been taken. Like I lost myself. They resent it.
See, the reason why I say that though, because I done been in a relationship where I came in the door.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like I had no 50%, 25%, none of that. It didn't look like that.
Right.
But in all actuality, I'm stomping.
Yeah.
You just don't know it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, when you say that, are you talking strictly monetary flavor?
I'm talking about all love.
Okay.
All love.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's going to look like that if you ain't got no car. You going to look like you ain't no 50%, 25%. That's how that's going to go, though.
Right.
You did? See, she just didn't see the inner thing, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was serious about, baby, this finna go, period. But I need 100%.
Mm-hmm. And see, I think with anybody that you in any type of relationship, whether it be business, whether it be political, whether it be intimate, you have to gauge that person's ability. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes in a relationship, you carry more ability to produce or introduce than the other person. And you got to if you got somebody who don't communicate as well, but you do, that you're going to feel like, man, I carry that load, but it's like, okay, because that's what you good at. You know what I'm saying? And you be empathetic to that. So, and not all aspects are you going to be 50% involved or engaged, because some people just better at other things. You know, like if my girl balanced the books more, then I'm going to go make the money, hand the money over to her and let her balance the books. That's my 50, because I make the money, she balance it. We good. You know what I'm saying? But if I look up and say, why you don't make no money? You know what I'm saying? And then we just using that as an example. If you hold them accountable to what you do and everybody the same way, somewhere down the line, it's just not going to match up, because not everybody got the same skill set.
But he's talking about like friendships. You know,
Even
like,
in friendships.
But see,
you got girlfriends that's broke that you buy them a drink when you go out, and that's okay because you know she ain't really doing too good, but that's still my guy. You know
negative.
what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying you.
Not I.
I'm not saying you personally, but we all know somebody who's not quite doing it, and that don't eliminate them from being in our circle. We have people that don't got $1 million, but you ain't got to be in Gucci and Louis to hang with me. You get what I'm saying? I'm still cool with that. Come on, come as you come. And, you know, I think a lot of time people take that humanity, you know, that ability away from themselves. So it's like, just because you ain't got it, don't disassociate from being with it.
I'm not hanging with no broke people.
You know,
because I need to elevate. Don't get me wrong.
Define broke though.
I'm saying, like, if we out and I'm always buying the drink.
No, I ain't say always. I
said she can't buy a drink.
No, I'm saying if
what we talking about?
No, I'm saying I'm not definitely saying she's broke. I'm saying today I ain't got it. I just paid rent. I just got Christmas.
Well, then you don't need to be out.
Well, you invited me.
No.
You invited me, and I might just want a beer.
I love my circle of homies, I swear, because, you know, we are mature enough to identify when I ain't got it.
Right.
We ain't being in no bar if I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be something like, I know one of my friends
you getting dropped off if you ain't got it?
You said do what now?
You getting dropped off if you ain't got it?
I got it.
And I love that about you. I love that about you. Oh, look,
I ain't worried about not having.
Get ready. We stay ready. I understand that. Ladies.
But I don't knock people for, and I'm saying, like, I don't knock my friends. Everybody's in different areas. Everybody doing something great in their own area. Yeah. So, but like I said, my friends, you know, I've been having the same friends for 30-some years. So we'll say something like, I ain't got it. I ain't going out tonight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Let's hang out.
Because y'all done got to that
We
point.
all got bars in our back. Like, listen, let's just go to each other's house. Yeah. You have to be mature enough. And don't get me wrong, what we do is when we out, I buy a round, she'll buy a round, you know what I'm saying?
So y'all got your system together.
Yeah. I ain't doing that.
See, that's rare that people have a system together. So I was kind of coming from
you made it. You gotta have people who I learned the importance of having your two groups. I need people that I can learn from, whatever reason or the other. I'm not being around nobody that's not absolutely beneficial.
Hey, we on the same page.
If you can't pour into me, you don't have to be rich. You don't got to wear Louis and all of that stuff. Matter of fact, you don't catch me in an Adidas suit. I bet you won't wear no Louis. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you can't give nothing, if you can't pour into me, then I don't have time I don't have time for the shit I got that I need to make time for. Right, so I'm not making time to be around non-productive people who can't pour into my lifestyle. I ain't doing that.
And to be honest, though, when you doing something, man, a lot of folks, man, be on the take.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody on the take in some way.
You know, they ain't necessarily coming into, and you have to be able to decipher that. You got to be able to see that. You know what I mean? And understand, like, oh, okay, this person, this is what it's about. You know, versus a person coming and saying, hey, man, I need this information so I can get on the good foot. You know what I mean? That's a different thing. You know what I mean? When they seeking knowledge and ways to do different things. But when they coming in, man, and just want to, you know, in a lot of ways, take. Yeah. You know, once you do this, you know, I got this business idea, blah, blah. All I need is a little help. And the little help, though, is for you to do the whole business.
You do everything.
You know what I mean?
My name on the dotted line.
I had a lady call me. It's so crazy. And I pray to God she hear this because that was ignorant. So I get a call earlier today. It's this lady from our church. I didn't even remember who she was. I had to call my pastor and say, who is Sister such and such? And she called me and said, I was just wondering, I'm in a bad situation. I'm going to get put out. I need $1,500. I said, I don't even know you. Like, I don't even know who you are. I got to get a reminder of who you are. How do you feel like it's okay to call somebody, ask them for that kind of money? And like I said, lady, I'm in the process of evicting somebody. There's a process. You need $1,500 today. You knew you was getting put out.
Last month.
You knew you was getting put out.
A couple months ago. Yeah. No, she had decided that she was going to get put out. in a couple of months, but she had this, ace in the
call
bag.
the church. I was like, and I'm so absolutely straight up. I was like, first of all, you got a lot of nerves calling people that I don't even remember who you are, first of all.
Right.
And second of all, honey, there's a process. So before you got to be at court in 2 hours and you call a lady that absolutely don't know anything about you. We just go to the same church and probably sit on. My daughter's like, Mom, she don't want to sit up. I don't know you. So I say that to say, it's like people have I'm very, very particular of the company that I keep.
You have to be.
You know what I'm saying? My brother, so-called best friend, had him killed. My trust issues, and it's been 22 years. 23 years in June. So I'm very particular about the company that I'm keep. I'm very particular about, I watch how you move. I see what you say, because that, it don't get no more deceptive than that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be around me asking me, or I pay attention. I will give anything I got. I will give my friends, and that's why I got a good group of friends, because we sit around and we all bring something and pour into each other. Hey, I found out about this grant today. Hey, you know what? Guess what? You know what I'm saying? We always pouring into each other.
That's something.
Right?
Too,
Can I
man.
say something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So back to the original question at hand, is like outside like friendships and stuff. It all boils down to relationship. It's relationship is at the core of it all. It has different titles. Relationship as in, I have an intimate relationship as in with a husband and wife. Relationship with my coworker. A relationship with my neighbor. A relationship with, like my friends and my homegirls. But the common denominator between all those is relationship. So it's like relationship it just has to be taught. So it's like, what is relationship? What do you define it as? Like, what are you willing to put up with? What are your non-negotiables? What do you set boundaries? Like, to say, I have boundaries with my coworker, with my neighbor, with my friends, with my husband or wife, with my kids, because I have a relationship with my children, but that relationship is completely different from every other relationship. What I may tell my homegirl, no, I can't tell my kids, no, I can, but I'm like, I said, no, I'm going to say yes to my children for this, but I told my homegirl no. When it's the same thing to say, well, my kids asked for $100, my homegirl asked for $100. I told her no, but I told my kids yes. Completely different relationship. Why? Because these are my children. Right. So I'm going to get $100 over here, not over there. Why? Because it's different relationship. So it's just at the substance of relationship. Yeah. Like is this Tasha? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Tasha was saying. It's, you have a good core group of friends, of homegirls, but again, that's not the average person. Mm-hmm. It takes a long time to develop going out and knowing that. And there's no shade. I have Applebee's friends. I have reservation friends.
That part.
I would never take my Applebee's friends to a reservation restaurant because I have distinguished the relationship between the two. Yep. Her level is 2 for $25. You still my homegirl, but you just 2 for $25. I'm gonna eat some guacamole with you, but I would never take you to my reservation and my reservation home again because it's relationships. So it's like I just distinguish the two, but it's still a relationship. So it's like, but again, within myself, I discovered what are my non-negotiables, what are my standards, what are my boundaries, and what are my do's and don'ts that I'm willing to accept in relationship in general. Right. You get what I'm saying? So that's just basically what I wanted to tell you on that, really quickly.
I really love how you had popped that too, because it go into another subject that we had going on, and it was breaking barriers in business. Why we hesitate to collaborate. And one of the reasons why we hesitate to collaborate is relationship. Especially, I'm talking about black folks. Yeah. When we hesitate to collaborate because of relationships, past relationships, and then once again having those trust issues and so on and so forth. We want to try to figure out what's some of the things that we can do to break those barriers. I know one of the things, like for instance, with Tasha being here now, Tasha, she about her business, so on and so forth. I want to mess with Tasha because she about her business, and I want to do some business. You know what I mean? That's open solo. Same for you, baby. You got things going on. Right. I want to be able to holler at you about some things I got going on and not feel as if you on the tape.
Yep.
Or you gonna set me up, or or whatever, or you trying to get over, or you want more than 50 You know what I'm saying? Or you only got 10% in the game, you know, but you want 80.
Right.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, in our culture, man, that's some of the things that go on.
Absolutely.
And we be, you know, I know I be on the standing on the back, man, paying very close attention. Like, okay, no, I ain't messing with him because of this right here, or something somebody done said. And I know some folks that said some things about me, you know, from back when, and some of them have been true. Right. But today I know how I kick it, man. Ain't no way I can be touched. I'm going to be matched, man, on taking care of business, on being fair. You know what I mean? When I come up in the game, it was fair exchange. Ain't no robbery. That's in my spirit, man. That's part of me. You know what I mean? But now, moving on the other side, once again, I'm gonna throw this back to Tosh. This is a good one. What are some of the Just give me something that we can do to help break that barrier of communication and developing those kind of relationships.
Man, people just gotta be who they say they are. You know, so it's when Darvin called me and was like, yeah, man, listen, we doing this over here, and my boy Rob, and I heard about you, but I heard good things about you. So whoever you were prior to that, I don't know. Maybe them folks didn't know you back then. But, you know, so I'm like you, I'm a collaborator, because I'm going to try to see what you got going on. I'm going to bring something to the table so it don't feel like I'm just sitting there eating without serving. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it has to be, you have to really identify what you doing and who you trying to do it with and what's your focus. You know, you can't, like she said, I mean, great point. You can't take your reservation friends to the 2 for $25.
Okay.
You know, like when we were getting ready, we planning a trip to Jamaica. I was going down the list like, nope, she ain't gonna buy no ticket. Nope. Okay, these are the ones that are gonna be ready. And when it was time, tickets bought, we out of here.
Right.
You know, so I say that, and I'm one like you. I said people don't understand in different cultures, especially like, and this is no race thing, but the white girls, Jenny gonna call Tina, and Tina gonna call her Uncle Bob, and they gonna come together and they gonna make some stuff happen because they about lifting each other up.
Even if they mad at you.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
I'm not talking to you, Tina, but here's the information.
Yeah, they're not gonna allow their emotions to get in the way of progress.
But our culture feel like I can't show you. Let me tell you something. Shout out to my homegirl Kat. I love her. When I was opening my daycare, her daycare is 6 blocks away from me. 6 blocks on the same street. We both off Hampton. She's 6 blocks up. She came and set my whole daycare up. Gave me her policies. I got pictures and videos of her. She put my boards up. She walked me through the entire process because she like, listen, I'm good over here. I want to see you eat. She wasn't intimidated like, dang, she right. And I got other folks that I had reached out to would never get back to me. I'm only going to ask you once. Yeah. And I'm going to remind you once, and then I'm done. Yeah. But my friend came, and she was like, listen, put me in these groups. Hey, this is the group of daycare owners you should collaborate with. This is how we do this. This is how we do that. Those are the type of relationships that I want. Yes. Those are the type of people that I want to surround myself with. When, like I said, with Darvin, I know he about business. Since I've been around you, I know y'all about business. So I have to insert the little time that I do have around people who can help make me better. Yeah. And who I can throw something out there too as well.
Yeah, that's another
can I
thing.
Say something?
Yeah, come on with
it. So to the question that you asked, like how can we break the barriers? I think the barriers could be broken by asking hard questions. Like removing, so within the Black culture, we get so caught up in, oh, she cool, he cool, oh, we could do this, we can do that. I don't key until the deal is done. So when you come and talking about business, let's talk business. Show me some numbers. What have you done? What do you want me to do? What are you asking of me? Even if what you're saying, I have a standard to enforce for myself. So what are you asking me? Don't hit me with the, oh, you know what I'm saying, and you know she cool, and we was bound to. First off, change your lingo, because this is business we talking about. You can't go on Shark Tank talking about something. You know what I'm saying, bro? We cool, and you know we sold a lot of shirts.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm terrible.
You get what I'm saying? No, I understand that, but again, my whole thing is like,
I don't think so. I really like your flavor.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Organic.
Oh yeah,
This
you gonna
organic.
get it. You gonna get it.
yeah, like I understand that, but again, it goes to relationships. Like if that's your flavor and whomever you're speaking to, they understand you. You get what I'm saying? But if I don't know you and you're coming to me, if you heard of me and whatnot, or if I heard of you, even if I know that's your flavor, I'm going to enforce my standard because again, I don't know you. So I'm going to come to you as a true professional through and through with, expecting for you to ask the hard questions.
But I ain't gonna lie. I'm hoping you're gonna be smiling or something too, because you're gonna have to smile at me with all that professional.
Yeah, the military run. She like I'm whipping it.
I understand. I'm just saying that when it comes,
she's smiling.
like when it comes to business,
yeah,
like Darvin, you can ask him. Like I'm a paperwork person. I'll be like, where the paperwork?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is that we talked about, let's put it on paper. You read it, I read it. I enforce real quick. If it's a deal that involves attorneys or whatever, you see your people, I see mine. Come back to the table. Whatever you didn't like, I didn't like. Let's change it. But let's bust this thing down until we get a mutual understanding of how we're going to move forward. In the event that something happens, enforce the paperwork. What was said? What did you say? What did I say? Hold each other accountable with paperwork, not by you said. You said ain't gonna hold up in court. What's gonna hold up in court is paperwork, or what's gonna hold up is what we agreed upon. So to answer your question is how do we break barriers is be prepared to ask the hard questions, be prepared to answer the hard questions, and come with true paperwork to say, if I'm asking you for some money, I need for you, if you ain't never had 50,000, but you want my 50,000, I need you to convince me that you can that you can handle $50,000 of my money, and plus the interest that we gonna agree upon and things of that nature. So it's like opposed to walking away saying, oh, she was acting funny or she act like she ain't want to give me the money. No, it's not acting funny. It's business 101. And if you want anything from me or from you or whomever, come correct or don't come at all, because you can't go into the bank and do the same thing and expect them folks, as we say, expect them white folks to give you $100,000 and your paperwork is raggedy. So to just to sum it up, to say, to break the barriers is get out of the cool mindset or, we can do this deal and, I promise you trust me. Ain't no trust. I need numbers. Numbers don't lie. I need you to put it on paper, show me some paperwork I can read, analyze, and do my own numbers to say, you know what, your plan makes sense to me. So I'm willing to move forward with you, and then we can bust this deal down together and project that in 6 months. Like you said, we are to expect these numbers, blah, blah, blah. You sign, I sign, we move forward. In 6 months, we going to commune because I need my half, just like you said you was going to do yours. And if the deal ain't done, you got to answer some questions for me.
Hey.
And that's just that on that. So that's just my take on it.
Hey, say no more. Hey, y'all. That was another episode of 100 Gems. You just got a big old dose of it. You better have your paperwork together, especially when you coming on this podcast at Home of the Champs, baby. But we'll be right back at y'all. Peace.